I think you yourself, while you're a nice guy, you're full of sanctimony. You become part of one of the parts of the problem of the media. You come on here and you have a monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. Sorry.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault.
So what should I do?
Wow, there is a civil war going on in the mainstream media. They're turning on one another, all as CNN's ratings are imploding. In this video, we're going to see for ourselves more of Brian Stelter getting embarrassingly shredded on live television, and how that's not the first time for CNN. You're going to have the opportunity to tell us what you thought of it in the comments below, and stick with me to the very end of this video where I'm going to reveal why this was just the latest in a long line of embarrassments for Stelter and for CNN as a whole. You're not going to want to miss this. Greetings, everyone. Dr. Steve here with you. Great to be with you. As always, we are your daily fake news antidote, providing a patriotic analysis of the day's events so you can think better and feel better in this crazy and turbulent times. So make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. Before we dive into things here, before we dive into CNN's nosedive, let's give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this video, and that's Keto Elevate. If you want the benefits of elevated ketone levels, but without actually having to do the difficult parts of the keto diet, cutting the carbs and the breads and the like, you're going to definitely want Keto Elevate. I use it myself, tastes great, curbs my appetite for hours, and if you click on that link below right now, you're going to get your very first shipment of Keto Elevate on its way to you at a whopping 51% off the regular price. So don't wait, click on that link below and reap the rewards that Keto Elevate can bring to your life today. All right, gang, let's dive right in here. Things just keep getting worse and worse for CNN and for particularly their ultra-leftist anchor, Brian Stelter. Now, if you want to see how bad the ratings are for CNN as we speak, definitely check out my video on their latest and continued ratings implosion. They've basically lost 2/3 of their audience since January, and Brian Stelter has got to be one of the biggest fails on this failing network. Over the weekend, he had as his guest his fellow left-wing activist disguised as journalist Michael Wolff, who completely skewered Stelter on live television. Now, keep in mind, if you don't know, Michael Wolff is about as anti-Trump as you can get. He has consistently accused Trump of being genuinely crazy. So this isn't some pro-Trump apologist who skewered Stelter. This is a fellow leftist, but even he recognized just how pathetic, how ridiculous, how indeed delusional Brian Stelter and CNN have become. Take a look at this.
I think you yourself, while you're a nice guy, you're full of sanctimony. You become part of one of the parts of the problem of the media. You come on here and you have a monopoly on truth. You know exactly how things are supposed to be done. You are one of the reasons people can't stand the media. Sorry.
You're cracking me up.
It's your fault.
So what should I do differently, Michael?
Don't talk so much. Listen more. People have genuine problems with the media. The media doesn't get the story right. The media exists in its own bubble.
That's true. I agree.
You gotta stop. I mean, that last segment that I just had to listen to of all of the people saying the same old stuff. Also, you're incredibly repetitive. It's week after week. I mean, you're the flip side of Donald Trump. Fake news, and you say virtuous news.
We just figure out what is real.
I mean,
I'm listening.
Well, figuring out what is real is not so easy, and right. Most people don't want to turn to Brian Stelter to tell us what's real. I'm sorry.
Well, then why'd you bother coming on CNN a few times this week?
I'm a book salesman.
You're cracking me up. You're cracking me up.
Have you ever seen nervous laughter like that? I mean, You know, it's one thing to try to engage your guest, and in fairness, Stelter tried to at some point. He was trying to recover, asking some trivial follow-up questions, but to just sit there and nervously laugh, it was painfully obvious he had no idea how to respond. He obviously wasn't expecting Wolff's attack on CNN. It totally caught him flat-footed, and Stelter just didn't know how to react to it, so he laughed. Thank you, Brian. You've cracked all of us up. Now, what this fellow Michael Wolff, who ended the segment admitting he's just a shameless book peddler in the end, right? So much for his own integrity when it comes to writing about Donald Trump. But his ultimate takedown of Stelter actually exposed precisely how the mainstream media attempts to manipulate public opinion. Let me kind of unpack that for you. First, make sure to let us know what you thought was the most embarrassing part of this interview in the comments below. I cannot wait to read through your comments. It's going to be absolutely hilarious. But you'll notice, at least for me, you'll notice I was impressed by how Wolff exposed the fact that the media often doesn't get the story right because the media exists in their own bubble. And Stelter admitted that it was true. Did you see that? That's an astonishing admission because what that narrative bubble is technically called framing, okay? It's one of the primary ways in which the mainstream media manipulates public opinion. Framing involves the process of both selecting events and then assembling a narrative that supposedly interprets those events. So this is why there are events that the media simply doesn't report on, because the events don't fit into a left-wing frame that the media fabricated. Now, no one called out CNN for doing this better than Sheriff David Clarke did after 3 cops were killed in Baton Rouge a couple of years ago. Check this out.
And they told us how their hearts were reeling. Their message is peace and coming together in the country. What's your message?
You don't believe that for 1 minute, do you?
That their message is?
Yeah.
That's what they said to me.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe them. Of
Any
course I believe them
protests
when they say
over
that.
the deaths of these cops today in Baton Rouge?
I don't know that. I don't know that.
Any riots or protests over the police officers in Dallas, Texas?
What are you asking?
It's a pretty simple question.
I asked you if what's your message to the people. Their message is one of peace. What is your message?
My message has been clear from day one 2 years ago. This anti-cop sentiment from this hateful ideology called Black Lives Matter has fueled this rage against the American police officer. I predicted this 2 years ago. This anti-police rhetoric sweeping the country has turned out some hateful things inside of people that are now playing themselves out on the American police officer. I want to know, with all of the black-on-black violence in the United States of America, by the way, when the tragedies happened in Louisiana and Minnesota, you know that 21 black people were murdered across the United States? Was there any reporting on that?
There was a black officer who was killed today, but
Was there any reporting on that?
Sheriff, please, let's just keep the volume down here.
Sheriff, let's please keep the volume down. Sheriff, whatever we do, Sheriff, let's keep the volume down. Let's keep the volume down is code for please stop shredding me on national television. Please. I love this Don Lemon after ending an interview with Wisconsin Sheriff David Clarke. Love it. But look, this is why even the liberal commentator turned media critic Andrew Sullivan has made the argument that the mainstream media today pushes narrative, not news. And he's right. The mainstream media pushes narrative, framing, right? They don't push news. Whatever events they focus on, whatever facts they so-called put forward, always must comport with their politically correct woke narrative. And this is why the media can see the same event so differently than the way we see it, because they're interpreting the event in light of a fundamentally different narrative that they themselves concoct. So this guy, Michael Wolff, calls Stelter out on this bubble the media is living in, and then Stelter tries to defend the narrative by saying that what CNN is just trying to do is, well, we're just trying to figure out what's real. Our narrative is simply reality. I mean, that was Stelter's defense against Wolff's critique, at least when Stelter was able to get his nervous laughter under control, being so embarrassed. All CNN is doing is figuring out what's real. Now, what Stelter is doing there is actually known as naive realism. And naive realism involves this notion that CNN sees the world absolutely objectively, and therefore anyone who disagrees with them must by definition be either ignorant or cognitively challenged, irrational. So that's how they cover Trump and his supporters. We must by definition be dumb hicks who aren't in touch with reality. But as it turns out, it appears that it's CNN and Brian Stelter who are the ones who are hardly in touch with reality, at least if their ratings are any indicator. Look at this from Fox News. You ready for this? This is beautiful. The Andy Griffith Show reruns are getting more viewers than Stelter. I mean, what do you say to that? A 1960s sitcom has a larger audience than CNN's reliable sources. I mean, the obvious question is, how does he still have a show at this point? And if you want more things, things get even worse for Stelter. You'll definitely want to check out a video I did on Jim Acosta and Brian Stelter. Their programs are literally imploding. We get more views per week than their programs do, and I got a $100 webcam. You're going to love that video because we get into how the ratings for CNN as a whole, they actually go down. They dip every time those two are on television. I mean, it's hilarious. Keep in mind, these are CNN viewers. And even they hate it when Jim Acosta or Brian Stelter are on camera. Viewers are actually turning CNN off when they're on. So obviously, this encounter with Michael Wolff is but the latest embarrassment for the sorry excuse for a CNN news anchor, as well as for CNN itself. Now, make sure to check out my latest video I just uploaded on how Europe is absolutely revolting against vaccine mandates. You're not going to want to miss it. So make sure to click on the link, and I'll see you over there. You're cracking me up.